Now, if you're attending a job interview, your obvious key aim is to impress the interviewer, because if you impress the interviewer, you're more likely to get invited back to a second interview, and potentially you could make you win the job. So let's just go over a few tips and ideas of ways to impress an interviewer and hopefully get you to that job. The first thing is pretty obvious, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Be punctual is the first thing, really. Make sure that you're on time, or if you can be, 5 or 10 minutes early. The reason this is so vital is because it shows not only that you're keen for the position, but it demonstrates to an employer what you'd be like in a working environment, and it obviously shows that you're reliable and you're trustworthy. So just ensure that you're really punctual and obviously don't turn up late. Something else to think about is being a bit dynamic and thinking outside of the box. So when you're asked a question in a job interview, try and think a bit creatively and try and think about what other candidates are likely to say. Try and keep your answers, obviously brief and concise, but try and also keep them a bit different to other candidates, because that's something that's going to make you shine and stand out from the crowd. Asking questions is another really big plus point in an interview. It really impresses the employer because it shows that you're really interested in the company and them, and it shows you're taking the job role seriously too, and it also demonstrates that you've done your research and your background checks on the company before you've even got there in the interview. So ask some really intuitive questions and get to know the employer and the organisation. Highlighting your key skills and matching them to the job role is absolutely crucial, and a lot of candidates do highlight their skills, but they don't really tie them in with the relevance of the organisation. So if you're very trustworthy, or you're good with customers or sales, or you're forward thinking, don't just tell the employer, show them how that ties in with the job role and the responsibilities. Now also, showing them that you've done your research is really important. So do your background checks before you turn up, look on the company website. If you're sitting with the managing director, you'll probably find content on the website about them and how they created the business, or how they got to where they are. So again, doing your research gives you some good grounding to ask some great questions, and it just shows that you're really serious about a future within the organisation. A really handy tip for a second interview is trying to be perceptive in the first interview. So if you have got an interview stage where you know you're going to be seen for a second time, in the first interview, try and look around the room and get to know the employer a bit more. So it might be a certificate up on the wall, it could be a hobby that's displayed in the room, or it could be maybe a football group that they support, anything like that. Try and take those details away with you, because when you come back, it will give you a really good grounding for some really informal conversation at the start of the interview, and just shows that you're a little bit more thinking outside the box than other candidates. It just make you stand out that extra mile, really. Hopefully, if you take all of these things into consideration and give them good practice before a job interview, it'll really help you to impress and hopefully get you to your dream job.